British cartoonists loved to portray Mussolini. He was in many respects a gift for caricaturists and satirists. He was an exaggerated figure almost before they got to work with him. If many politicians and perhaps a section of public opinion in Britain had been sympathetic to Mussolini up to the mid-1930s, then that started to change following the illegal invasion of Ethiopia in 1935, and it changed further when Mussolini allied himself with Hitler and was drawn into the Second World War. Mussolini's war was not successful. He'd been depicted as a warmonger, but when it came to it, the Italian military effort was poor. The Allies invaded the country, having beaten the Italians in North Africa in precisely the same month that Mussolini was deposed. They reached Rome and liberated Rome in June 1944. The cartoon that we have here is by Giles. Giles worked for many years for the Daily Express and Sunday Express. The image that we have here was published in the Daily Express on the 6th of June 1944. There are two elements of this cartoon that are worth drawing attention to, though. The first one is the minuscule figure of Mussolini himself. Mussolini becomes, in this depiction, a child, an infant, no longer the larger-than-life historical figure that Mussolini wanted to be seen as, and indeed was widely thought of as, abroad in the mid-1930s. Here we have an echo of Mussolini who has been turned into the lackey of Hitler, a figure of no particular weight or influence in his own right. We can still see the same fat face and chubby body that Mussolini had been shown as having in earlier years, but it's all reduced in size. Mussolini counts for little, he's a small figure. The second element of this cartoon that is worth highlighting is the fact that the fall of Rome is being projected on a cinema screen by a moving picture camera. And what we're presented with here is Ersatz newsreel, and clearly there's the Nazi eagle and swastika symbol which represents that, suggesting, first of all, that Mussolini, once again, has become the puppet of Hitler. He counts for little. But also drawing attention to the fact that Mussolini was a dictator who used the mass media extensively. He thought it could be harnessed to his ends and could be used to manipulate public opinion at home and abroad. And for many years, of course, he did successfully dominate Italian newsreels. He harnessed some feature films to the regime's efforts, and his assistants and collaborators paid a great deal of attention to fascist propaganda abroad. What this image suggests is that history could not always be manipulated through the cinematic image, that the fall of Rome was really happening and that it was being filmed, and that you couldn't deny it was happening by manipulating the mass media. The reality of Rome's fall was there for all to see, and the only possible reaction of Mussolini to it was precisely to ignore it in the way that the Roman Emperor Nero had done.